Hey everyone, welcome back to the Driven to Succeed Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Olson, and today I have a special guest in Cortney Tschida from the Right Thing team. Cortney, you've been in the business for 4 years, and you've been kicking ass. Like you've had a number of closings this year already, and you got one tomorrow coming up. So I wanted to get into this a little bit and see how things like how was your journey? How did you get inspired to get into real estate in the first place?
Yeah, so actually, like about 5 years ago now, I guess I started working with my mom back in the day for like 10 years doing hair extensions. So I kind of always created my own schedule and got used to that. And then once COVID happened, all the salons closed down, and my mom and I were also in it a little bit. So I got together with my friend Amanda because she wanted to get out of her work as well, which she was doing at the time, and we decided to start a design business. So we wanted to really like flip houses and get into wholesaling and all of that. But it's hard to just do that out of the gate. So when I think it was a year into our design business, we were just doing some cleaning jobs and stuff. We got together in Florida with my stepdad at the time, and he was in real estate. He's been in real estate for 15 years. He was like, "Hey, you guys should get your real estate license." And I was like,
Why
"Okay."
not?
Why not? So we literally in Florida, like sitting by the pool, just bought our Florida or our real estate license course right there
Yeah.
and just started it and got through it. So that was kind of how it all started. I never really would have imagined getting into real estate, but now that I've been in it for so long, I wouldn't imagine doing anything else because I feel like it's just exactly what I want to do. And
So you fortunately enough met the right people, and that's how life works, right? You never really plan it, and here it is, and
yeah.
now you've created a successful career out of it. So successful. We're going to talk a little bit about you a little bit. I know you don't like that, but um, in the fact that it allows you to travel,
Yes.
but it also allows another passion of yours that you are a professional bass fisherman, right? Am I,
Yeah.
am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I wouldn't say totally professional, but I do the tournaments and I did make the regional team last year, so I'm getting there. But yeah, it definitely allows me to have the free time to travel and do the fishing. And this year, I kind of decided to slow down on the fishing a little bit because I really do want to ramp up real estate in my career. And fishing does take actually a lot of time away.
Yes.
But I can say I've sold a few houses on a bass boat. So,
Nice. There you go.
yeah.
That's and being able to balance life is key for most real estate, for because you're getting last minute calls for showings, right? Or leads that come in and hey, we got to go do this and you got to be ready and prepared for it. So being able to balance that and
Yeah, I think having the team really helps because with when I do travel, I can reach out to anyone on my team and just have someone do a showing for me. But I wouldn't say I'm very good at balancing. Like I love to work and I'll work 24/7. If you're a client of mine, like you can call me at 11 p.m. and I might answer and I might not if
right.
I'm doing something, but most of the time I will
Yeah.
because I just love staying busy and I love yeah, I love working.
Well, and that's what the key for most successful agents, right? Or, on the lending side is just being there for the clients, right? So, um, and so many times where I get a phone call just randomly, and it's like, hey, da, 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 and it's you get busier and busier, but being able to just have those conversations with them, just pick up the phone, right, and have the
Yeah.
conversations. And there's a lot of times where they're like, hey, the last person I worked with, I could barely get a hold of them. So that is a key to really success in this industry. So you also, one of your things that you really try not to do is overthink, right?
Yeah. It's really hard not to. And I want to say overthink and just like overanalyzing. It's just like, and there are benefits and cons to it, obviously, in real estate, but it's hard not to overthink because there's so much stuff going on and you're working with so many different people. And then you have to like think about you don't have to, but you think about like what your client's feeling. If they feel stressed out about a situation and now you're worried that maybe you could do something better, or I don't know. So
Well,
it's,
there's a learning curve behind all of it too.
yeah.
And one of the things that I learned is just like if it's, where you get stressed because something comes up in a transaction. And I've just had to tell myself, okay, let's find the solution. There's nothing you can do about it right this second, but find the solution to, and I always do that 24 hours. Like we have 24 hours to find a solution.
Okay.
In some cases, like I just talked to you earlier about if it's 24 hours to closing, we
Yeah.
have to find a solution. That's a different story. We have to find it right now. But most of the time, you have like 24 hours to come up with a solution, because things come out of left field, right?
Mhm.
On all sides of the transaction. You can't control anything from the lending side, right?
Yeah.
Just like the lender can't, we get the information that we get, and something comes up in the middle of it. We've had job losses, we've had, undocumented collections that pop up out of nowhere,
Hmm.
things that you have to navigate. And there's a lot of people a part of that transaction. So you want to take the best care of your clients, keep
Hmm.
them regulated and calm, and find the solutions.
Yeah, and it's not like when something comes up, it's ever a good thing. Like if something's coming up in a transaction, it's always a stress. Not like, oh, the seller wants to give you an extra 10,000. Like it's
Yeah.
never something like that. So it's like through the whole transaction, if it's smooth going, it's smooth. But like the second there's something wrong, it's like it's never good. But
Do
you
you,
figure it out.
right. Do you have any go-to strategies to not overthink or overanalyze anything?
Not really.
It's
I
just
just allow myself to stress for the day, and then I'm like, you're gonna go to bed and you're gonna wake up and then you're gonna be fine. Like,
right.
it's okay.
Right.
It always ends up working out. And if you have the good people around you and the team that takes care of it,
Hmm.
that's that's what's most important.
Right.
Like, you're basically as a real estate agent, you're a mediator. You're working with all these people that you're bringing together to solve one transaction. And that's, yeah, all you can do.
That's one of the beauties of working on it with a team, right? And I know more and more teams are being built. Over the last 10 years, I've just watched more and more of that happening, and not so much as just the single, agents. I mean, first of all, you got more resources to get leads, help build the business, specifically when you're new to the business. Just having because you can only call your sphere so much, right? Friends and family,
Yeah.
so much. You can do so many networking events and do these other things, but you have to eventually be able to expand, and it takes a long time to really grow those networks. So being on the team, being on the right thing team, right? I love working with you guys. It's been fantastic. Dan and Eric are great to work with, and they really do. My biggest thing is they really seem to care, right?
Yeah.
And they show that they care. Not seem, they show that they care. They care for who's on the team, and I had it was funny actually. One of the agents that referred me to Eric interviewed, and then it was interviewed with them, and they were like, I don't think it's going to be a good fit. So that's how I got to meet with Eric anyway.
Okay.
Um, we were talking earlier about going above and beyond, and you just had recently, yesterday or wait, a couple days ago, you went above and beyond. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I like to go above and beyond basically in every aspect of the transaction from the beginning to the end. And I could go through that, but what I like to do differently is I just always make sure my client's happy. So like a few days ago, we had some inspection repairs that were supposed to be completed on the house that I'm closing tomorrow. And we basically went to it and it just wasn't, they weren't happy at all. They walked in and it just felt like dirty because there was actually the attached townhome for sale as well. It was further into the foreclosure process, so it was already bank owned. So they decided to go with this one, even though it was a little bit more like disheveled, I guess, because it was an easier process, a more standard transaction. So they just, I don't know, they didn't seem satisfied. And I was like, I left and I'm like, I'm just like, I like when people are happy. And so I was like, I'm just gonna hit up the agent. I'm be like, I just want to go out to the house. I'm gonna shampoo the carpets. I'm gonna do some cleaning. The garage was There was, I think, an animal in the garage for a long time, unfortunately. So the garage smelled just horrendous. So I did a bunch of research and used ChatGPT, which is amazing, and found a good solution that I could use on the concrete. And I just hung out there all day. I opened up all the windows and like cleaned off the concrete.
So you clean the concrete,
Yeah,
you shampooed the carpets,
yeah,
and you put a lot of time into that.
I
I mean,
did.
that's impressive. I mean, that, a lot of times, I mean, in this business, we want to own our clients for life. And
Mhm.
hopefully that, this is a first home for her. And a few years from now, she, whatever life takes her, she's buying that next home and selling that home with you, right? I
Yeah.
mean, that's really where you can shine.
Hmm.
And nice work and kudos for you on that, because I trust me, not every agent will do that at
No,
all.
yeah.
So, good for you.
Yeah, I just like to do a lot. I like design too, and I like cleaning, so that's why it's like I had a listing that I think I listed it basically the end of last year, and it sat for 3 months. It was a townhome in Otsego, and I knew that it was overpriced, but you can only say that have that conversation so much with your client. And he ended up going out of town for like a month. He was out of the house. And I was like, hey, I'm just going to go to the house and stage it. And I got permission from him, but I went and I just painted one wall. And my business partner, Amanda, and I were there until about 1 a.m. We cleaned the entire townhome. We moved around his furniture, like opened it up. And I think it was a week later we got an offer. So it's just, it's a it's little things, but it is big things when you actually put in the work on a property and do something to make people happy or make a buyer come in and actually see a clean home. It's just a lot of agents I feel like don't do that necessarily or don't care. It's just a number. And for me, it's an experience. And that's why like even to the beginning of the transaction and going through all the documents with my clients and reading through everything they're signing instead of just sending it over through Authentisign for them to sign. And then at the end, like getting them their closing gift is one of my most exciting things
Yeah.
ever, which is, I don't know. It's a cool thing because in real estate, you can build your own business how you want it. And there's no ceiling. You can do anything.
You are absolutely correct. I mean, you're definitely building your business the right way, and you're treating your clients the right way, and that goes so far. It's unbelievable, because all the successful people that I've worked with in the past, and that's how they've done it, right? And their clients love them. Um, being able to, a lot of times people think in this industry, that, oh, specifically in like this volume of the market, right? There's not enough homes. There's all these extra buyers. You just had it. Like, you just literally changed a few things and got an offer because you staged it right. I was at I dropped by an open house not too long ago, and I come in, and it's just like, I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is like, you're having an open, and it's like 60 days on market, right? And
Hmm.
they have an open house every single weekend, and I'm like, this isn't working, is it? And without trying to stay in my lane, but I just kept thinking, I'm like, this needs to be staged. You got to declutter. You got to get rid of this stuff. Yeah, you picked up some toys or something, but that was it. I mean, it was just like, okay, so this is not going to sell easily. I should look to see if it's still up or not, but
I'm sure it
regardless,
is.
it's, but just doing those little things, like, you called your client, and, hey, can I do this? And you went in and you got an offer. So, I mean, that's the number one, thinking outside the box. How can I get this thing sold? And not just doing oh, we need to do price reduction,
Hmm.
right? Um,
Which some people are happy to do, but some people they need the money. So
right.
it's like, I don't want to reduce the price. Well, there's other things you can do. Because if a house isn't selling, it's for a reason. It's just not portraying right, or the price is too high. But if the price is too high, if you do the right things, you can make that house worth that price. It
Yeah.
just takes a
Yeah.
little extra effort.
Yeah. It's usually not because it's 50,000 high. You
Mm-hmm.
know, what can we do to make that attractive to the right buyer,
Right.
right? Market it. And that's where it all comes from. And that's where the industry, if you look at, all the things that they'll say online is that, you don't need agents or like the online, the open doors of the
Oh,
world,
yeah.
right? It's like you can buy this house online, agents are going away. I truly don't believe that. I mean, I think there's too much knowledge that is needed for the industry that you can't just get online or by yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right? And having somebody that, like, when we work in the trenches every day and we do this stuff, this is our job. This is how we advise people. Yeah, and so nice work. And that leads us right into your marketing and mindset and making it work. I actually kind of answered all those questions for it. Um, what do you said you have your business partner, Amanda.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how do you guys see like going forward? Like as far as, is there anything in your horizon that you want to do differently this year, or is there anything that you're working on? This is out of the blue question, so I put you on
Yes.
the spot.
No, actually, because I had just talked to Dan about this, but I just want to change a lot this year because I am working on switching brokerages, and once my team settles down into that, I really want to start making a lot more marketing materials. I want to do more open houses. I want I've never had my own for sale sign. Like I want to get my own personal for sale signs that I can put in my listings so I can feel more confident about having listings. I do want to try to list more houses because I haven't had as much listings as I've worked with buyers.
Hmm.
So I want to try to focus on that so I can gain confidence in that side of my business as well. Because I like listings are a completely different situation than working with a buyer. So
Yes.
it's different walking in. You really got to sell yourself. Where I guess, I don't know, but
No,
yeah.
you're right. I mean, it everybody, most everybody goes into this business as a buyer's agent, right? That's how you get it. And you start at like I started with really cutting my teeth on like down payment assistance programs, helping first time home buyers. And still to this day, half of my clients are probably first time home buyers because the agents that I work with, that's what we do, a lot of it, right? But they do become second and third home buyers. So you got to be able to stay in front of them. But I love that strategy and like getting your own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've had some other agents that like just kill it on like social media, and that's not easy. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's not easy. You have to be comfortable. You have to do it. Like I've committed that I was going to do all this stuff this year, right? And it's always you don't have time for it. So my commitment more than anything is to like just do more videos and
Yeah.
more of that things to really start marketing yourself, because it becomes your survey, like, or not survey, your resume. So when people look you up, like, and then they can see all your stuff on social media, and that's what I really found is really valuable. It's not like that social media post is going to sell you that, or get a new buyer from that, but somebody that gets referred to you is going to look that up.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So,
video's huge,
mhm,
because you see a picture, you don't really know someone's personality, but if people consistently see you on video, they kind of feel like they know you.
right.
So that I think it makes them more liable to actually reach out and be like, hey, maybe I want to work with you versus just seeing some posts and some pictures.
Right,
So
right.
I think video is the best thing you can do for
It
your
is.
business.
You can
Mhm.
do that and do it, and do it consistent. The biggest thing behind that is consistency, making sure
Absolutely.
you're doing it, regular, because that's the only way you get eyeballs on it. Let me ask you this. What's one thing your clients assume about you that's totally wrong?
Uh, that's interesting question.
Have you ever thought of it that way?
No.
Because I recently started thinking it that way because you get focused on being like, this is how I see myself, not
Mm-hmm.
how so much like other people see. So when you start to self reflect a little bit, and then like, oh, because I'm always analyzing. I'm always overanalyzing myself. I'm like, oh, why did I say that? Why did I do that?
Yeah.
Oh, that was dumb. Let's correct that. But learning from my mistakes, and that's just how naturally people really, I believe really make themselves better, specifically in sales.
Yeah, I feel like I mean, I've had so many good experiences with my clients, and I work with random people, so a lot of the time they really don't know who I am, so I
Right.
haven't really thought about that. I just try to be like a good person when I am. Like, whatever.
I don't think you have to try. It sounds like you're
Yeah.
just a good person.
But I feel like maybe something people assume about me is that I'm young and like
Mhm.
new in the
Mhm.
business, which I mean, for almost 5 years in, I am still new, but I'm very informed. Like I've spent my whole time learning about real estate now, and I do a lot of research and I listen to a lot about real estate. So maybe people think that I'm just young. I don't know. That's
Right.
the only thing I can think about.
Yeah, I guess I could see that probably, but obviously with your experience now and in knowing where to go when you need, because it's no matter what in this business, you're always learning, right?
Yeah.
There's always something new. There's like no matter how many transactions. I mean, it's easier when things do duplicate themselves. Oh, we have another septic problem, right?
Yeah.
Like, what do we do with this, right? Oh, this lender does this or whatever, but just every day, what I've always tried to do is just learn something new every day.
Yeah.
And then my biggest thing, I love working with all my agents and with clients and just having those real conversations and being accessible. Um, what what would you say when how can people find you, follow up with you if they want to work with you? What would be the best way?
I would say Facebook probably. I suck at social media right now. Like I have my Instagram and I haven't posted on it in 2 years.
Yeah.
So I would say Facebook Messenger would be the
Okay.
best way to get a hold of me,
Gotcha.
or just reach out to me on my phone.
Okay. Well, we will have everything for the podcast on it, all your contact information. I'm excited. I'm really excited that I got to work with you, and looking forward to our business going forward and your success, and so forth. Because in 10 years of doing this, I've watched some new agents come up and like kill it. And it's fun. It's really, really good. And there's a lot of agents that are leaving this industry and that the new wave is coming through. That's hate to say it, but they're not as jaded. Yeah, we went through just so, and I think the business is really starting to turn around. I think, this year was going to be a bumpy year no matter what, but all the signs are pointing forward in good position. Like, I just had a call with a client this morning and they're like, well, because we're like borderline what they want to be approved for. Well, we'll
Mhm.
just wait a year. And I said, well, what's going to happen a year, right? And so right now, how much are you paying for rent? Well, we're paying $1,800 a month for rent. Okay, so how much is that for the next year?
Mhm.
Um, Looking at the statistics, the Minnesota market is going to be 4 to 5% increase in purchase price.
Yeah.
So $400,000 house is going to be $420,000 next year. So now we take all that together, we're talking like $40,000 that you're going to be out.
Yeah.
So
I feel like people are just hesitant to jump into it, but if you do just get yourself into it and you can do it financially, it always makes sense because houses always grow in price. And a year from now, it's like you said, the house is going to be more expensive and you're going to have to come up with a bigger down payment. You're going to have to pay a little more monthly. You don't know interest rates are going to do. They're at a fair number right now. They're a little volatile, but they're not terrible. They've been worse.
they've been worse. I mean, we were doing 8% for a minute, just a year and a half ago. And now we're locking people solidly in the low sixes,
Yeah.
and mid sixes. And you know, how much better is it going to get? I don't think we're going to see below 4% again. Do I see us maybe getting in the fours? Yeah, then we can refinance. Do I see it happening for sure? Can't say that 100% for sure. I do think,
You got your crystal ball though.
yeah, right. If I had it, I would be on this beach right down here. Um, but I think if by buying sooner than later, it's your wealth becomes so much more, for first time home buyers, or people that are sitting on the fence. I got this low interest rate now, and so forth. But most people right now are getting multiple offers on their houses. So,
Well, it's just low inventory still. It's
it's
crazy.
yeah. So there's some rules I see coming out, that might change some things with investment properties. And I think that is going to make a big effect.
Is that with the FHA?
Not with FHA, it's actually Section 8
Oh,
vouchers.
okay.
So a lot of investors rely on Section 8 housing, right?
Mm.
And because it's guaranteed money. They don't care about the house, they just buy them, and they buy these houses for cash, and then they put renters in Section 8.
Hmm.
um, Section 8 vouchers go away, or they are getting changed. I think the program might completely go away, and it's going to be replaced by something else.
Okay.
That is going to make an effect. Okay. So now investors won't have this golden egg that they get every month, right? So that'll affect rents, and I think it'll increase the housing inventory.
Yeah.
So you get that lower housing inventory moves up, and then your upper housing inventory is going to go as well. So I think that's not for sure, just some rumors
Yeah.
happening, but that could potentially happen. And so a lot of the signs that are coming are going to be positive, and um, maybe it's not as positive for those investors that have these Section 8s, but I think
Positive for the people that need to buy a home, and it's
yes.
hard to right now for a lot of them. So
Hmm.
that would be,
Yeah, I mean, it's as a first-time home buyer, I remember like people we had $30,000 in income, you could buy a house,
mm,
right? And when I first got in the business, yes, you could buy a house and $30,000 in
that's
income.
crazy.
Now it's so different now. We're talking the median income has moved up slightly, but the average home sale in 5 years, median home price in Minnesota went from like three if I remember the numbers correctly, 308 to like 418. So 100,000 in 5 years,
Yeah.
right? But income now and on top of it, interest rates were in like the fours at that time. So the affordability was much better than what it's been,
Hmm.
right? So now you have to have $90,000 income to try to get a starter home, right? Or on average.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's plenty of people that have 50, $60,000 in income. We can get them into homes, but your typical starter home price has gone up significantly.
Yeah.
So it's a challenge. But on my side, that's, kind of like, hey, how are we going to make this work? Right. So I think multifamily homes are going to eventually come back a little bit more too, because that kind of dropped off quite a bit as far as the starts and so forth. But um, it's all a cycle,
Yeah.
and it's going to turn, and it's turning sooner. I mean, right now, it's for what's out there, it's on all the price ranges. It's been a challenge, but people are still, it's called market share, right?
Mhm.
And being good with your clients and gaining that trust.
Yep. And being good with the agents, because it does matter if you have a relationship with an agent to get your offer accepted on a house. So that's networking is huge within real estate.
100%. Courtney, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I look forward to your success. Everybody, if you have any interest in working with Courtney, please reach out to her on Facebook. It'll have all the information below. And like and subscribe. Thank you very much.